Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have 4 news stories for you. The first one is unbelievable. I even thought for 1 minute that it's fake, but then I remembered that there's plenty of crazy people in the world. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and enjoy. I, 25, dated this girl, 24, let's call her Betty, all throughout high school and our freshman year of college. We tried making it work, but I went out of state for college, and she went to a school 2 hours from our hometown. We eventually called it quits. 5 years is a long time to be invested in someone, especially at such a young age, which is one of the reasons we decided we should remain friends. Also, our families had been good friends since Betty and I were in 3rd grade, so it was nearly impossible to completely cut ties. All in all, it was a relatively healthy breakup. Fast forward about 4 years. Betty and I both graduated college. I stayed in the town I went to college to work, while Betty decided to move back to our hometown to work. Betty had remained close with my family and would visit them often since she lived right in town. Our parents continued their weekly game nights. Betty and I talked occasionally, but mostly kept up with each other's lives via Facebook. That same year, Betty's mother, 48 female, passed away unexpectedly. My family was being extremely supportive, and I was doing my best to support her from 1,000 miles away. My father goes on business trips all around the United States. So a couple of months after Betty's mother passed away, my father, 45, decided it would help Betty if she went on a trip to New York City with him. My little sisters, 12, went with them, so nothing seemed out of the ordinary. When they got back, everything seemed normal, but about a month later is when everything came out. My father decided the best way to tell my mother, 45, that he was divorcing her was to take her out to dinner with the pastor of their church and tell her in a public place. I think he did this intentionally, so she didn't freak out on him when he told her he was leaving her for her son's 24-year-old ex-girlfriend. As soon as he told her, he left the restaurant, went home to tell my sisters he was leaving, then packed some clothes and left. He had admitted that his relationship with Betty had started almost a year prior to Betty's mother passing away. So no, he didn't take advantage of a grieving woman. Now let's fast forward roughly 8 months. Nobody has seen or heard from my father since he left. I get a call from him. Turns out that Betty got pregnant on their trip to New York City and is due to give birth any day. My mind was blown. As if it wasn't bad enough that he was with Betty, now he's starting a family with her. I couldn't even think of anything to say to him, so I mumbled something about needed to take my dog for a walk and hung up the phone. Now, I haven't spoken to my father since that day, and that entire side of my family has quit talking to me, including my own grandparents. Even the people from my hometown are supportive of my father and Betty's relationship. So, am I the idiot? What? Everybody is supportive of OP's dad's relationship with OP's ex? Really? I almost fell out of my chair. Of course OP is not an idiot. And OP's father is not only an idiot, but a huge coward. I would be ashamed if he were my dad. So last year, my brother moved in with me and my roommates. When he moved in, his girlfriend started spending a lot of time at our place. This isn't a problem, as my roommate's girlfriend comes over too. Here's the thing though. My brother's girlfriend pretty much eats all our food. No matter whose it is, she will eat it. Me and my roommate have told her multiple times to stop eating the food we buy and only eat the food brother buys, but she ignores us and eats our food anyway. We have confronted her and my brother multiple times and told them she needs to stop, but she just says, "Tee-hee, sorry, but it's so good," and he refuses to say anything about it. We both have tried to talk him into going to her house instead of bringing her over, but he doesn't want to. It's gotten to the point where both of us are considering getting a second fridge to put a lock on. Well, we're both sick of it. Brother's girlfriend is a heavy girl, and weight is a very touchy issue with her. Well, recently, both of us have taken to calling her Miss Piggy when she eats our food. If we ever see her eating our food, or after she has, we confront her and call her it. She hates it and has freaked out each time she hears us refer to her as it. Honestly though, she still eats our food, and so we keep doing it. Well, today when I got home from work, his girlfriend was there eating leftovers I had cooked last night. I told her, "Wow, I love to come home to see Miss Piggy eating my leftovers that I was looking forward to." Before I started oinking at her, she broke down crying and ran out. She's been calling my brother furiously since and is refusing to come here anymore because I am an idiot. Am I? Like, we asked her so much to stop, and she didn't, and I honestly just lost it. We all buy our own food, and we have a rule never to touch each other's stuff. She knows this, and she still did it, so I think she deserved it. Why would you keep eating other people's food after being asked not to? I think that's so rude. This girl is definitely an idiot. Of course, OP's comment was mean. But I can imagine how much it can get on your nerves when somebody is acting like that and not giving a crap to what you are saying and asking. And OP's brother is an idiot as well, if he can't control his girlfriend. Lack of respect for his brother. I think the best thing is just to move out. Update. So, after my post and reading some of the initial responses, I decided I do agree with you all in the end that I need to be an idiot in this situation. So, the next day, me and my roommate sat down with brother and pretty much told him she's not allowed back here. That morning, Miss P called him up and said she forgave me and would be coming over again. The other option we gave him is buying his own fridge while we lock the other one up, and he foots the electricity bill. He disagreed on both, but because his name is not on the lease, he really didn't have a choice. So now brother's supposed to hang out at her place. A win-win, right? Well, nope. Last night, I came home to find Miss P hanging out at our house. And guess what she had done? Yep, she had eaten some of roommate's food. Well, I decided to be a little more respectful this time, so I didn't oink at her. I just told her that the food she had eaten was for humans, not pigs. I then threatened to call animal control on her if she didn't leave. She did not like this, and an argument broke out between the three of us. Turns out that brother was supporting her this whole time and never planned on carrying out what we all agreed on. I'll cut the argument short, but in the end, they demanded I apologize to her for everything. And I told her, people don't need to apologize to farm animals. She stormed out, crying again, but this time Kermit followed her and wouldn't even look me in the eye. My brother is staying with her, and he's too afraid to come face roommate after last night. We're in the process of terminating his sublease with the landlord, and I'll be giving him his 30-day notice tonight personally when I visit the barn. So yeah, I'll admit I was definitely an a-hole here, but when you're dealing with a spineless coward and Miss Piggy, you gotta break a few eggs to go with your bacon. My wife and I are both 42 and in marriage counseling after our marriage basically went to crap after having kids. 6 and 4-year-old twins. A lot of issues and disagreements have come up in our marriage that have driven us apart, and I have been working through my resentment that going back for one more baby resulted in twins, including one which we are pretty sure has ADHD and ODD and is a nightmare child. Our counselor asked me if I would have children if I had to do it all over again, and I said, honestly, no. I love my kids and would take a bullet for them. But if I had the chance to go back to 24 when I finished grad school and could do my life over again, I wouldn't choose fatherhood. It's not the fulfilling experience everyone claims, and while I love my children, the sacrifices are not worth it to me. I had a much happier life before having children and have gone from someone who loved life to someone who just makes it through the day, working a job he hates to provide for the wife and kids while silently wishing this wasn't my life. My wife is furious and taking it the wrong way and even told our 6-year-old, "Daddy wishes you were never born," which makes me livid. You don't tell the kid that. Yes, I wish I never had kids, but I do love them, would never hurt them or want to upset them. And I didn't say it to or in front of my kids, and I never ever will. I said it in marriage counseling, what should be a safe space to talk about feelings. It has become a huge fight. Our marriage is not going to be saved now. And I know she will try and use this against me in divorce court to try to get sole custody and take everything and lie to the kids who I do love and still want to be dad to them. She is incapable of understanding that you can love your kids but also feel that parenthood wasn't the best choice for you. Am I the idiot for saying it though? Edit. To make some things clear, when I say I resent having twins, I am not saying it is my wife's fault. But 3 children is more than we budgeted or bargained for, and I need to pick up a lot of overtime that I would not have had to pick up if we just had 2 kids. And that is what I resent. That and the child with ADHD/ODD. My life is basically work and dealing with my kids. And do you know what ODD is? This child always refuses to do what is asked, gets angry and throws a tantrum when asked to do something he doesn't want to do, kicks and hits others, deliberately annoys and hurts others, is extremely spiteful, screams and kicks me constantly. Always, all day, every day. It's exhausting and it is hell. Yeah, I wouldn't have him again. Most people wouldn't if they had to raise him. Just because I wouldn't do this over again doesn't mean I'm not committed to being a good dad and being present in their lives. I just would not do it over again if I could redo my adult life. My first kid was not born at 24. I just said that because if I could do my whole post-university life differently, I would change some other things too, mainly career. And to be honest, after all this, I regret marrying my wife, which is why I said it that way. Regarding calling the ADHD-ODD twin a nightmare, go Google what that means. It is very difficult to manage, and he has even been kicked out of 3 daycare places because they could not handle him, and my parents even refused to babysit him. We never get a break from home, and no one can handle time. You know, guys, I totally understand where OP is coming from. I don't think OP is an idiot. Parenthood is not easy, especially when children have health issues. Guys, it is hard being a parent. Some background. My grandfather just passed away at the end of January. He was closing in on 90 and lived a very full life and died very peacefully in his home, which is exactly where he wanted to be. This is where the story gets very sticky. My grandfather lived in a cheap tract house and was very frugal. His only passions in life were woodworking and his garden. But to my huge surprise, I was named as his sole heir with life-changing money. With the house, everything in it, and cash, his estate was valued at a little over $1 million. Here's where it gets even stickier. My mom passed away 6 years ago. She had one sister, who I was fairly close to, and from her I have 3 cousins. I don't know the full details of why my aunt was estranged from my grandpa. In fact, all my mom ever told me was, it's between the 2 of them. I have mixed relationship with my cousins, and because their mom was estranged from my grandpa, they have never had a nice word to say about him, and I don't know if they ever met him. To be fair, they probably never had the chance to get to know him like I did. Cousins and aunt did not attend the very small funeral I set up for my grandpa either. Now, she and my cousins have been basically calling me non-stop, somewhere between begging me and demanding of me that I split the estate 5 ways. This is what both of my attorneys have essentially advised. No matter what, I shouldn't split the estate 5 ways. If I do decide to be incredibly generous, it should be split 50-50, and my aunt and cousins can divide their half however they like. Both attorneys have advised against this, period, as it is not in my best interest. I can write 4 $5,000 checks out of the estate to get them to go away. $5,000 in our state's probate system is generally seen as enough of an inheritance to be essentially uncontestable, and my aunt and cousins will have no further claim on my grandpa's estate, or none that a judge would be willing to hear. The first attorney strongly advised I do this. If I do nothing, I am carrying out my grandpa's wishes to the letter, and that is my responsibility and also my benefit for staying close to him in his lifetime. This is my second attorney's preferred course of action. But this is not about the legality of the situation. This is about what should I do, and would I be the a-hole if I keep the entire estate for myself? Just over $1 million is enough money for me to finally fund a retirement account, have a down payment on a decent house, and actually save some money. I have no designs on a big blowout, but maybe updating my car would be nice. I could do all of that with $500K. But that number sure looks different than $1 million. Basically, will I be an idiot if I don't share this inheritance like my aunt and cousins are asking of me? Okay guys, I don't understand. What would be the purpose of the will if OP just gives it to his aunt and cousins? Wouldn't it be against her grandpa's last wishes? Grandpa decided that OP should get everything, and I don't think she has any moral obligation to share against her will.